Hey, Mom, are you busy right now? I wanted to talk to you for a moment. I'm still bothered by the fact that Grandma is coming to visit us today. I feel so anxious and irritated. Are you okay with it?
Hey, sweetheart. What's bothering you about her visit today? Do you have other plans?
Mom, seriously? What do you mean, what's bothering me? You're aware she's not very fond of us. And she makes it clear every chance she gets. Grandma seems to dislike any young and attractive woman, like there's competition. Why is she even visiting today, by the way? We just saw her at Christmas.
Lizzie, like I've said before, Grandma doesn't hate us. I don't think she's aware of her behavior. She's from a different time. You know she's been through a lot of pain in the past. Your grandpa had an affair with an exotic foreign model 30 years ago. And left your grandma in a difficult situation. Grandma hasn't had any contact with him since. Imagine how tough it was for a woman in those times. She's carrying a lot of sadness. Her anger comes out unexpectedly.
Yeah, that story is hard to forget. But it doesn't excuse her being hurtful. My concern is for you, Mom. I can handle Grandma's behavior towards me. But I don't want to see her treat you that way. She has no right. You deserve better treatment.
I assure you, I'll be all right. I'm capable of handling this. Plus, Dad will be with us the whole time. She tends to be more pleasant when he's around. Don't worry, Lizzie.
Ugh. Fine. I'm so anxious. It's frustrating to deal with this.
Thank you for looking out for me though. I'm proud of you. My little one all grown up and caring for me. So sweet. You're getting ready to start a family and be an amazing mom someday. Wink wink.
Well, I'll need to find a boyfriend first. Can't start a family alone, Mom.
Really? So you've thought about it? Marriage and all? You won't have my blessing unless he's someone like your daddy, young lady.
Guess I'm in trouble then. No one like Daddy out there anymore. Anyway, I have to go now. I'll see you tomorrow at lunch. Love you so much.
Sounds good. Love you too, baby girl. Have a safe trip.
Don't you see your poor old grandmother off when she leaves? Not even a wave? What happened to your manners? TSK, TSK. Why am I not too surprised?
Oh my gosh, I apologize, Grandma. I had my noise-canceling earbuds in to listen to music and get some work done. I had no clue you were heading out already. I'm sorry for not saying goodbye. Usually, when I'm studying, I can't hear anything except my music. My parents know not to disturb me either. They've tried and failed.
Terry should have disciplined you more while you were growing up. I raised your father and your Uncle Scott with strictness, you know, to instill manners and respect for elders.
Okay, I'm sorry. Goodbye, Grandma. Take care on your way home.
And what on earth were you wearing earlier? Is today Halloween?
What? My outfit? What's wrong with it?
Everything is too tight and revealing. Cover yourself up, have you no shame? Leaving absolutely nothing to the imagination. Is that how your mom dresses you? Does she encourage you to dress like her? This is absolutely unacceptable. In my time, you wouldn't have been allowed near children.
I had a cardigan over a maxi dress for goodness sake, Grandma. I don't think I dress inappropriately. I'm not even a fan of showing much skin. Maybe that's why my parents don't have an issue with my clothes? They've never mentioned anything to me.
Your father is too kind to say anything, of course. But your mother? Where does she stand in all this? Her daughter is dressing like a loose woman.
Wait a second, I just remembered. Didn't you actually like my outfit earlier? You asked me how I grew up to be such a beautiful young lady just hours ago.
When did I say that? You must have heard what you wanted to hear. That's a classic narcissistic trait, you know. I had a feeling you might display those signs.
Wow, this is so typical of you, Grandma. You sound irrational. This is why I prefer not being around you. When Dad's around, you treat me kindly and compliment my mom. But once he's out of sight, your true colors show. You probably praised my outfit just to seem pleasant in front of Daddy. I should have known. I feel uncomfortable around you, Grandma. I don't feel safe in your presence.
How dare you speak to me this way? You're just like your promiscuous mother. Why your father chose her over all the other possibilities, I'll never understand.
You're crossing a line, Grandma. I might look like my mom, but I have my dad's way of speaking. And my dad taught me to stand up for myself. Particularly against a bully like you.
How dare you?
I'm done conversing with you. I have better things to do. I'm going back to my studies.
Goodbye.
Grandma.
Lizzie, do you have a moment? I'd like to talk to you if that's all right.
Sure, Dad. What's going on? Are you out right now?
I'm on my way back from dropping Grandma off at her house. Lizzie, is there something between you and Grandma?
What do you mean?
I noticed you hardly spoke earlier when she was around. Whether to her or us, you barely said 2 words during dinner. You only came out of your room when it was time to eat, and it seemed like you didn't want to. I was wondering about it.
I suppose the truth's out now. You have no idea, Dad. She's really nasty to me and Mom when you're not there. She acts all sweet and friendly in front of you. But as soon as you're gone, things change drastically.
Wait, are we talking about your grandmother?
Yes, Dad. It's surprising that you've only just realized. She's been like that since I was a kid. That's why I find it hard to be around her.
Grandma wouldn't act that way toward you both. She cares about you deeply. You're her only grandchild. Remember what Mom explained before? Grandma struggles to show affection. Partly due to what your grandpa did to her and how she had to cope with it alone. Can you imagine how tough that must have been for her? Back then, society didn't value women who were abandoned by men. Times were really difficult, Lizzie. But she raised me and your Uncle Scotty with love and kindness. She just doesn't know how to express love the way we do today. Discipline and criticism are her way of expressing her love. Could you try to grasp that?
Well, I can understand her difficulties and how they've affected her. But is it fair that I'm the one who has to understand her? I'm 20 years old, which is way too old to be playing the figure out grandma game.
I'm not saying you should let her control you or anything. I'm just asking for patience. Don't always take her words literally. Please, Lizzie, can you do that? For me?
All right, fine. It's a good thing we won't be seeing her for a while. But sure, I'll try to be more patient with her the next time we do see her.
Thanks, Princess. I knew I could rely on you. I love you. Lizzie, please answer the phone. It's an emergency.
Sorry, Dad. I was in class. What's going on? You never call me during class hours, knowing I'm busy. Is everything all right?
Mom is in the hospital. She's been admitted to the university hospital in the city.
Oh my God, what happened? What's wrong with her?
I'm not sure, just got off the phone with your grandma. I don't have all the details, but she fell and hit her head. I'm headed to the hospital myself. I'll get more information once I'm there.
Why were you talking to Grandma? Why is Grandma informing you about Mom's hospitalization?
All I know is that a few days ago, Grandma had a craving for your mom's meatloaf. Your mom made some and brought it over to her this morning. I thought she would drop off the meatloaf and return home. But I guess she stayed to have lunch with Grandma? I'm not sure. Then a minute ago, Grandma called me saying your mom had collapsed. I called you immediately. We'll learn more at the hospital. Try to get there as soon as you can. I'll meet you there, and we'll gather more information.
All right, Dad. I'm leaving now. On my way. Hello, Uncle Scott, it's Liz. Are you awake?
Hey Lizzie, how are you? It's been a while, little princess. Since Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Time really flies. I'm doing fine. Sorry if this is a bad time, but I have a quick and important question for you. I heard that you were at Grandma's house when my mom collapsed.
Yes, that's true. Well, sort of. I'm really sorry about your mom, Lizzie. I think I might have missed you at the hospital.
Thanks, it's okay. So, I was thinking you might know what exactly happened to my mom. I don't understand why she collapsed. Nobody has given me a clear answer. All I know is that she fell and hit her head. Grandma won't tell me the details of the fall.
I had worked 3 consecutive night shifts leading up to that day. So I decided to take a nap before dinner at your grandma's. Your grandma let me use her bed, and I was asleep in the bedroom when everything occurred. I only recall being woken up by paramedics banging on the door. There was quite a commotion.
Are you absolutely sure? How could you not have heard anything? The walls are pretty thin at Grandma's house. I hope you're not hiding something from me.
I'm absolutely sure. I would never hide anything from you. That's just not the case.
Then what brought you to Grandma's in the first place? You and she never really got along. I never imagined you'd visit her, let alone take a nap in her bed.
Grandma wanted to see me, so I stopped by on my way home. It had been quite a while since I last saw her, back at Christmas. And as fate would have it, your mom was there too.
Okay, maybe I jumped to conclusions, Uncle Scott. Thank you for clarifying. I'll let you go now. I'm sorry if I seemed accusatory.
No worries at all. I understand your stress given the situation. I hope your mom recovers soon. How's your dad holding up? How's he doing?
He's managing okay, considering the circumstances. He's currently with her at the hospital, keeping her company.
That's good to hear. I'll make an effort to visit her soon. Everything will turn out fine, Lizzie, I promise.
Thanks, Uncle Scott. Good night. Dad, I believe I should head out. It's almost midnight and I've got an early class tomorrow.
Understandable. It's getting late. I'll be here with your mom. But I'll reach out if there are any changes. Do you feel alright driving at this hour?
I'm fine. Dad. There's more to the issue than just the time. I didn't want to be the bearer of this observation, but
What's on your mind, hon?
don't you find numerous aspects puzzling about this entire situation? Out of nowhere, Grandma suddenly decides to eat Mom's meatloaf for breakfast. And insists she drives to her house at dawn? Who on earth eats meatloaf for breakfast? It doesn't add up. The same applies to Uncle Scott. He's never seen eye to eye with Grandma in all the years I've known him. They hardly interact, maybe twice a year. Yet, he rushes to visit her because she called. Then conveniently sleeps through Mom's collapse? Dad, can you honestly say nothing strikes you as odd here? Mom was completely healthy, but after one visit to Grandma's, she ends up in a coma.
Lizzie, I understand your emotions and concerns. Your confusion is shared. I'm puzzled too. But we can't start suspecting one another. We're a family. They claim she fell and hit her head. It can happen to anyone. It was an accident. Accidents can befall anyone. It was unintentional.
I'm not grasping at straws, Dad. We must unravel this. The only two witnesses have kept silent thus far. Don't you want to understand the reason behind Mom's sudden fall?
Certainly, I'm curious too. Yet for now, both of us can do nothing but offer her company at the hospital as much as we can. So, for the time being, let's do that. We'll address the rest later. I'm confident we'll untangle this. Go home and rest, Lizzie. It's late. You need some rest.
In fact, I'm perfectly fine, as I've had about 7 cups of coffee. But whatever. I'm uneasy about this, Dad. I really must head off now. If you find out more, please give me a call. Goodbye, Dad. Hello, Grandma, it's Liz. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? How have you been?
Liz, what a surprise. Is there something you need? What brings you here?
Not much, really. Just wanted to check in. I was curious about your well-being. It feels like it's been a long time.
I've been fine. Nothing extraordinary, as you know. And how's your mom? Is she still doing the same?
Yes, she's still the same. Dad's been by her side as much as possible. He's hardly left her since it happened. I'm confident she'll wake up soon. I have no doubt.
Your poor father. I can only imagine how much the hospital bills are accumulating. What's the cost for a night at the hospital? Your mom can't grasp how her coma is affecting those around her. She's unaware. If only she knew.
Grandma, that was quite insensitive. She never wanted to be in a coma. And she will wake up.
Do you realize how rare it is for people to awaken from comas statistically? Almost unheard of. You're only causing yourself pain with false hope.
So, are you suggesting my mom should give up and die then? Is that what you mean?
Of course not. I'm only saying that keeping her on life support is a costly and futile endeavor. It doesn't benefit anyone. It's not healthy. You always misconstrue my words. You probably think I'm heartless.
Yeah.
I get your point. Still, it was a thoughtless thing to say. By the way, I meant to ask you something, Grandma. I heard Uncle Scott is planning to sell his house and move in with you. Is that true? Did something happen? You two never got along. Why the change of heart? Is he all right?
What do you mean?
Come on, everyone knows you've been tough on Uncle Scott. You've insulted him, compared him to my dad, and made it clear he won't inherit a dime. You treat him like an outsider. I even saw you wince when he walked past you in the hallway once. When I was young, I couldn't believe he was your son due to how differently you treated him from my dad. I'm just curious why you've suddenly allowed him to live with you again.
I wasn't aware I needed to justify caring for my own son in my own home, let alone to explain it to my granddaughter. He's my son.
Right, you're correct. Just curious given the change of heart. And from what you said, there seems to be a reason. It's okay, if you don't want to share it. You know the saying, Grandma. If someone acts out of character, it could mean their end is near.
What?
I'll take your word for it. If you say there's no reason, then there's none. But, Grandma, let me share a secret with you. Lies don't last. They can't hide from those determined to uncover them.
What are you talking about? Accusing me of lying? Are you trying to threaten me?
Threaten you? Why would I threaten you?
Wasn't that a threat? What are you implying, then? Teaching me proverbs?
For the record, it wasn't a threat. But interpret it as you wish. If it sounded like a threat, maybe you have something to feel guilty about? Look at the time. I need to go to bed, I have school tomorrow. Did I mention I'm studying criminal justice now? Anyway, good conversation. Good night, Grandma.
Lizzie! The reception here is quite poor. Perhaps the call got disconnected. Are you awake? This is really important.
Dad. What's going on? Is everything all right?
It's about your mom. She's regaining consciousness. Her fingers moved. Her fingers moved on both hands.
Oh my God, seriously? Are you certain? You're absolutely positive?
Yes, I'm completely sure. I witnessed it myself. Her eyes are open now as well. Hurry to the hospital, immediately. As fast as you can, Lizzie. You must be here. She needs you.
All right, Dad. I'm coming. I'm on my way right now. Grandma, I have incredible news for you.
What's it? What's happened?
My mother is awake. After a grueling 2-year period, she's finally emerged from her coma.
She is?
Yes, grandmother. Although she's unable to speak or use her legs presently, her full consciousness has returned. The doctors claimed the odds of her awakening from the coma were almost nil. They concur this is practically a medical marvel. Opting for life support was unquestionably the right decision.
This news is truly astonishing.
Indeed. But do you truly believe that? Are you genuinely of the opinion that this news is astounding?
Certainly. Why would I deceive you? Why wouldn't this be an astonishing development?
I'm not certain. I've pondered frequently whether you would ever want my mother to wake up and disclose what truly transpired on that day. Given that you never opted to share that detail with me or my father.
Why would you entertain such thoughts?
I don't know. Just something that has occasionally nagged at the back of my mind. Well, I must go text Uncle Scott about Mom.
Scott? Why?
He's been kind enough to inquire about her through me. He's consistently shown concern for her over the years. Therefore, I'm certain he'll be overjoyed to learn of her awakening. Grandma, I need to leave. We'll talk again soon. Uncle Scott. My mom is awake. She's out of her coma. I had to let you know immediately.
What? Terry woke up?
Yes. She can't talk or stand yet, but she's fully conscious now. I wanted to inform you ASAP, given how worried you were. Our prayers were answered.
I understand. Thanks for telling me. I'm so relieved to hear this.
Absolutely. Figured you would be. She'll be chatting in no time. So, now will you finally fill me in on what happened the night she collapsed? Wouldn't you rather tell me now than from Mom herself?
Huh? I already explained back then. I was asleep, so I don't know, Lizzie. I didn't witness it. I just know she collapsed and was taken to the hospital.
Uncle Scott, I know that's not true. Please be honest with me. It's been 2 years, you've kept it inside long enough. Please, Uncle Scott. I know you're not a good liar, and you're not a bad person either. So tell me the truth, please. Spare us the awkwardness once Mom can talk. Confess now, please.
Lizzie, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Uncle Scott, maybe discussing this over text isn't right. Should we meet? No, there's no time. I'll call you now, so please pick up.
You're right. Okay.
Grandma, Uncle Scott, Daddy and MOM were added to the chat. Uncle Scott told me everything. Those recordings have him talking with Grandma about it, too. It's all there. I have proof. Do you have anything to add or say, Grandma?
Scott, you idiot. You should have kept your mouth shut. You have always been a stupid blabbermouth.
Sorry, Ma. I couldn't do it anymore. Lizzie is right, there is no now or never, it's just now. It has been weighing down on me all these years. I felt so guilty. And now that Terry is awake, what is the point? The truth is going to come out one way or another.
How could you, Mom? I trusted you. Even when Lizzie told me her suspicions. How could you do this to Terry? To US? Why would you do this? Did you hate my wife that much? Why? What has she ever done to you? And are you that much of a hateful person? Why did you do this, Mom? Why?
I did it. It was my fault, Mikey.
What?
Yelling at her and criticizing her every move about this and that. So Terry had finally lost her cool and she charged at her. I thought she was gonna attack Ma. So I tried to block Ma from Terry by getting between them and pushing her away. I didn't mean to hurt her or Ma. It was an accident. You have to believe me. I didn't mean to push her that hard. Terry fell down and hit her head on the corner of the coffee table. That's what caused her coma.
Scott is right. I had just lost it then. I was so angry. I wanted to confront your mother once and for all. I honestly don't even know what I was going to do. I was just so overcome with anger. Scott tried to stop me. I'm glad he did because I might have hurt your mother.
Oh, Terry, dear. You should have hurt me instead of yourself. I should be the one in a coma. Forgive me, Terry. I don't deserve you as my daughter-in-law. Your beautiful figure, your handsome and loyal husband. Everything about you is perfect, and I couldn't handle it. I only saw you for what I was not. I am sorry I was so awful to you. Now I realize it was all pointless and shameful. You clearly don't have an evil bone in your body. You didn't deserve any of this. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, Terry dear.
No, Ethel, please. I haven't done anything to make things better either. I don't resent you. And I don't hate you. I understand your life couldn't have been easy. And to think I came along and just snatched your precious son away from you. I really truly understand your feelings towards me. But Ethel, I think it was time you and I resolved this once and for all. For everybody's sake. And for your sake and mine. I forgive you completely, and for everything. I would appreciate it if you were gone from our lives, Ethel. I think this is best for everyone.
I am in no place to argue that. I understand. I deserve this. I respect your wishes, Terry.
I have no words for you too. I have half a heart to call the police on you too. You should thank them, my wife and daughter, for stopping me. After all these years of you bullying them, they are still defending you. I can't believe I've been so oblivious. You and Scott need to stop living so full of hate and spite. Find peace and make amends. Terry is absolutely right though. I don't want to see you ever again. I will not let your negative influence on Lizzie. Don't you ever show your faces around here. Don't call. Don't write. Goodbye, Mom and Scotty. I hope you have a better life.
Mom and Dad's hearts got deeply hurt by this situation. However, they are the two strongest individuals I know, so they'll bounce back. As for me, I ultimately opted to accept a job offer in Europe and relocate there as soon as Mom left the hospital and got back to her routine. The duration is just 1 year, and it will benefit me. They'll come to visit me there to celebrate Christmas, just like in the past. While I was on the plane, flying across the Atlantic, I had ample time to reflect on everything that had transpired. Would Grandma have been a different, affectionate person if her husband hadn't cheated? Could Uncle Scott have experienced a happier childhood? Could we all have been a content family together? However, I forced myself to cease entertaining such questions. The past is unchangeable, no amount of speculation, daydreaming, or remorse can alter it. Now, my focus should shift to progressing ahead, devoid of mess, stress, and drama. Embracing a fresh start with my family, and I eagerly anticipate that.